And we are live, we are live, we are live. Again, here we are, Skyline Radio Show. My name is T, the Busy Bee,
I'm your boy Skylyne Mark.
and we are back once again. For those of you guys who are tuning in, this is actually a very special show. And I must say, it's like a bittersweet thing right now. And I must say that this is our last show, guys. Our last show is just for a little bit, this COVID's kind of in our way right now. So we got to take a step back for a little and then, we'll be back hopefully. You never know, but we must say that this is our last show. How you feeling, Mark?
Mark,
Ooh, ooh. Have you been enjoying COVID?
I'm not. I'm sick of this bullshit.
That sounds about right. Like, what have you been doing? What did you do? What have you been up to?
Networking,
Keep yourself occupied. How have you been doing it?
networking. That's all I do day in and day out. Network.
True, true. For me, it's been different. I guess we can kind of just lay out how the show's going to go today because we do have an hour and a half. This is also our last show. COVID's happening. We can discuss. It's different things that we can discuss or that we're going to discuss during this time, like our favorite shows, the benefits of having everyone on our shows, the things that we remember. Just good memories of the times that we have been here with Be Exposed and also with Skyline as well, the different people who we had on the show. We're just going to go through it all for the next hour and a half of all the book of memories for the last year and a half.
Do you remember all the guests we've had in the last year and a half? Did you make a list of this?
No, I don't remember all the guests we had, but I remember specific guests. I remember a lot of guests that we had that kind of stood out to me, though. I can say that much.
I gave a shout out earlier for tonight's show for all our guests for the last 4 weeks that have been on with this different format that we have. Mo, Huey, Diana, Ebony, Nikki. They came on our show the last 4 weeks in this different format that we have set up right now, and I'm about tired of this format. I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? You don't have to leave your house. You can be in the comfort of your own home. You ain't got to go nowhere. You ain't got to worry about getting here, getting there, whatever. But you and me, Tiana, and Fawn too, you know how we do. We like interacting with our guests. And that's what gives us such a complimenting show. Like everyone that comes on our show, they're like, yo, it was cool. It was I can't even think of the word. It's a lot of fun. It's inspirational. You get a lot of information. You walk away with new connections. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm definitely gonna miss the show during our transition. Um, Hopefully it's not that long. I'm thinking a month. It could be longer, but it all depends on this COVID-19 epidemic portrayal thing they're doing. I think there's more there than meets the eye, but we're not going to get into that because I think there's 2 or 3 stories that are out there that they don't want to talk about, like anything else. Because if you notice, if you've ever watched a whole hour of news, they really don't talk about anything else that's going on in the world unless it has something to do with COVID-19. That crazy fool over in North Korea, he's missing, right?
I thought he died.
He had some type of heart surgery and there were complications, and then they said, he was in grave condition, and now supposedly he's missing. But they're not talking about that because that don't have a damn thing to do with COVID-19. They're not talking about crime. They're talking about bits and pieces of crime. Now, yes, Baltimore is talking a lot about crime right now because police shot the 16-year-old kid. So yeah, that's all over the news. They're not talking about hardly anything that has to do with COVID-19. Um, Supposedly, Trump's going to throw out additional money, but I'm like this: what is $1,200 supposed to do for the average household in a month? You see what Canada is doing? Canada is giving their people between $1,800 and $2,000 a person a month. Now, again, that's still kind of low, but damn, it's a whole lot better than what we getting, and that's if you're getting it, because not every American that pays taxes is getting this. Not every
Well,
American that pays taxes that has lost their means of employment is able to file for unemployment. So what do you do? That's the $1 million question.
well, I do say that this is also a good time for those who are creatives or those who feel like they can sell something or make something or build something or create something, for them to actually go on and like put in that work and actually create it and do it and follow through, because this is the greatest time. Everyone is quote unquote saving money because they don't have nowhere to spend it. Um,
Yeah,
they
they do. They can order food 24/7.
Yes, that's about all we can do is order food and exercise. There's different people, like there's different creators who are just coming up, shuffling up a line, might have taken everything back just to start all over, just to revamp and recreate. This is a good time for those like just to sit down and recreate. You know, even though everything's shut down, everything's closed, everything's not where it's supposed to be, but out of the normal, all the things that you couldn't do because you never had the time, you have all the time in the world to do it now.
You
Like
sure
all
do.
the time in the world to do it now. And if you aren't doing it now, then when are you going to do it? Because now your first excuse was, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Now you got time. What's your excuse now? So even though, yeah, it might be quite boring or this, that, and the other, find ways. I learned to find ways to like entertain myself. So I realized I talk to my friends more because, phones do this thing where, you can FaceTime and stuff. So I talk to my friends more. I create vision boards. I color. I What else have I done? I created jewelry. I'm revamping a lot of things. Like it's just open time and open opportunities so that if you feel like you can do better, it's time for you to do better and be better. So when the world opens up, you have all the opportunity in the world to do whatever you got to do and take off and just keep moving. So like even though this time is, and this comes from both ends because I'm also the extrovert introvert who can't sit inside and kind of drove herself crazy last week trying to do that shit stuff. So, you know, so I just it's like different levels to it, but for creatives, this is a great time. This is a time of peacefulness, a time for you to create your art, a time for you to just be comfortable with yourself, with revamping whatever you have going on, be comfortable with what you're doing so that you can refocus and either start now in releasing everything that you have, all the new lines that you have and everything that you've done, or as soon as I say January, I'm gonna say June. I'm praying that in June everything's back to normal. But in June, as soon as it opens up, just drop everything and everyone's going to flock because everyone's going to have the urge to spend money. Everyone's going to have the urge to get things back to normal. Like paying for stuff is going to be, oh, let me pay, let me pay, let me pay. Oh, I got to get this now. Oh, I got to get that now. Like Yeah, everyone wants to wait on a stimulus check, but there's so many other things that you could be doing that'll create the same amount of money as the stimulus check. Like, just sit down, think about it, and do it, and don't wait on the government to give you money. I know I'm not going to get the stimulus check. I didn't do my taxes for 2 years, but life happens, so I can do the taxes when I feel. And if I feel like I want to go after the stimulus check, I'll think about it. But right now, honestly, I have enough different things to give me a second. I have different things to like accumulate the same amount of money as that $1,200 a month and whatever that America's doing, because you can't wait on America no more. You got to get out. You got to get out the way because they're doing whatever they want. So you have to make sure that you're doing what you got to do to make sure that you're taken care of. And if that's recreated things or finding things to sell or having baked food and selling plates of food to get your money, to do anything that you got to do, step 1 through step 5, because people are buying everything right now. Anything that helps keep them healthy, anything to that they believe is going to be a part. My sister just moved into a new apartment. Like, people are still living their lives. They just don't have the same amount of means as they did before COVID hit. Like, you can't just, the world just didn't stop because COVID hit. I think that's what I've gotten to and what I realized. Like, this staying aside stuff, I made it for a little bit, but I know me, and staying aside is a trigger. So I know I have to get out. Like last week, I went on a walk. I went on a walk for about an hour and a half. I didn't care. I was walking because these 4 walls was closing in on me, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm gonna go on a walk. I need air to breathe. I need people. I need to see things. I need cars driving past. I need a feeling of a normal life, even though life isn't normal right now. Like, that's what I've learned. That's like, what has COVID taught you?
Me?
Yes.
Mm.
You're the only other person on camera with me, Mark. Who else would I be talking to?
I thought you was talking to the people in general. What's it taught me? COVID hasn't taught me nothing. What has this time period taught me? Slow down. Take time out for yourself. Self-care, self-love, it's important. You know what I'm saying? Your body is like a car. If you don't take care of your car maintenance-wise, the car's not going to last long. You don't take care of your body and do the necessary things day in and day out that your body consistently needs, such as drinking water, your body's not going to take care of you. Your body's not going to last long, and it's going to eventually shut down. And unfortunately, if one don't happen, the other's going to happen. But eventually, you're gonna mess around, wind up in the hospital. Been there, done that. So I mean, take time out for your kids, your family. I'm about tired of looking at my family. My son don't bother me. He calls his room his domain. He says, "Dad, this mess ain't bothering me. I do the same thing I was doing before now. I just see you 24/7. I'm not used to seeing you because I'm out and about. I'm working. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm making moves. I'm going to this event, that event. I'm networking here and there, doing photo shoots here and there. Coming up to Baltimore for different various occasions, reasons, the radio show, whatever. Doing the Feed the Homeless events. I think out of everything, I think I miss that the most because I miss giving back. I miss looking out for our people. You heard about Tent City in DC earlier this month. There was a fire.
Oh.
And last I heard, they think it was arson. But four or five people were displaced. So I just found this out within the last couple of days, but they did some type of fundraiser to try to raise funds so they could replace these individuals' tents because they lost everything. So, and I haven't thought to get in contact with Shanetta, but I need to get in unless you do it before me. One of us needs to get in contact with Shanetta and find out what we can do for June as far as um, going down there and seeing who needs exactly what. Um, the people, I mean, there's another organization involved. I can get in contact with them if we have to. You know how that goes. I would prefer not to because they're not within our organization. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, teamwork makes the dream work. If they're doing one thing, then we can do something else. If they're raising funds to get bare minimum these people their tents replaced, then we can provide clothes, shoes, socks, whatever we have within the 50 million bags of donations that we have. But Virginia, Dover, and Newark, and naturally New York, they're not even talking about anything because the numbers, as they say, are still high. So, I mean, but we're in the last couple of days of April. I mean, you're talking about another 31 days. And in the last week, we've had a couple fairly okay days, numbers wise, where they weren't worse than the day before. But they're saying you have to have consecutive days that the numbers continuously go down for bare minimum 14 days. Last I heard, I think that number has actually gone up. Um, Mr. Producer, if you would like to reiterate on that, then I mean, by all means, please do. But um, you got to have the numbers go down, from what I understand, consecutively for 14 days before they decide to do anything or make any type of announcement. Um, Last I heard, Hogan and the mayor of Baltimore and the mayor of DC have reiterated and extended the curfews and the whole shutdown scenario until further notice. Um, the states that are slowly but surely reopening, it hasn't affected any sports. Major League Baseball hasn't made any announcements of even thinking about possibly restarting spring training. Nothing. So I'm like this. The country can do what it wants. When Major League Baseball says, okay, we're going to restart um, spring training and get the athletes, you know, in shape for whatever form they need to be to eventually start the season, then I think that's when we as a society can honestly think about, okay, it might be semi safe health wise to start getting your life as we know it when that time comes um, back to a sense of normalcy. But until then, I mean, you know, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, I believe that that I believe a couple things. I believe that even though like my urge to go outside to do things, I'm also still taking in precautions, different things. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. Oh, like I'm still taking the precautions, different things, but I don't feel like the way that they're opening it is the best way to open it, and it's really uncomfortable. You know, like it's very eye opening how they treat us and the things that they do, like to catch your attention if people really are paying attention. And
That's the
I
thing,
just,
though. They know
I'm not okay with them with them opening the world back up just yet. Um,
that's the thing. They know 90. They know the majority of the country aren't watching the news. Like I don't even watch TV now. My new best friend is Netflix. Man, let me tell you something. I done seen some movies and some like seasonal things, seasonal shows or whatever that I never knew was a season, but it's like a movie. It's more like a soap opera because it just keeps going and going and going. But it's good, so I mean, you continue to tune in. Um, like I just watched two movies today, for example, that Method Man was in, and I've never even heard these movies. Like, when and where did these movies come out? One I'm actually in the middle of right now that's currently paused or stopped or whatever because of the show. But he's in this movie today, and then he was in a movie with Adam Sandler. Um, Adam Sandler and oh my goodness, what's the comedian? Um, is it who's the comedian that was in an accident a couple years ago and got real bad injured?
Kevin Hart.
Nah, that was last year. Morgan Freeman, is that him? You ain't good for nothing. Oh my goodness, you get on my
Nope.
nerves.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there we go. Tracy Morgan and Adam Sandler were in it, and man, when I tell you that was a real good movie, I don't remember what it was called. I'd have to look it up. But I'm like, dang. Um, I've watched so many movies on Netflix. I'm running out of movies to watch because a lot of stuff I don't like. Like I got bored one day and I was like, all right, I done ran into this shark movie, and it's about a lake, a saltwater lake, because that after Katrina, when the levees broke, anything that was within a certain mileage or state wise, a lot of your freshwater ponds and lakes turned into salt water. Well, there was these three different guys that somewhere somehow got into transporting sharks and literally infested this lake with sharks, all different type of sharks, like um different type of species, hammerhead, great whites, sand sharks, all kinds of. Now granted there wasn't no whale shark in it, it's too daggone big. I don't even know how you transport something that big, but I mean, it is what it is. But I'm tired of watching TV. I've watched more TV in the last 8 weeks than I've probably watched in the last 10 years. But what can you do?
Well,
Can't
what else have
the
you?
rest of
I mean, I've watched How to Get Away with Murder came back on, which I'm extremely proud about because I get to watch How to Get Away with Murder again. Insecure came back on. I finally was able to watch that today, so I'm happy about that. All American has a new season that's coming out really soon, I believe, for the third season. It's like even though like you get time to binge watch and catch up on everything, as being the busy bee, I miss a lot of shows. I miss a lot of shows
it.
of everything, so I'm always playing catch up. And this is like so perfect because I can sit at home, I can work, and I can binge watch. Like I can sit at home, I can drink my wine, I can binge watch, I can eat what I want, I can do what I want. It takes a lot. Even though I'm sitting up here with a big old smile on my face, trust and believe, after day 3 of being in the house, it's just it in 1 week, there's 7 days. Day 3, it's over with. Then I gotta go find somewhere to go or something to do. I gotta go get air, gotta go away from my house because I get lost in my thoughts and just everything. Like self-care is definitely something you have to be aware of at this moment. Um like you have to be completely aware of self-care at this moment, especially for those who don't sit inside all the time or who actually do move like and do stuff and move around. Like it's a reason for it. Like this made me realize that the reason why I need people is because I like helping people. But sometimes the interactions with people is what keeps me going.
Right.
Like, that's what it helped me realize. It's like the interactions, even like I'm around my family all the time, so that's fine. But just going outside and laughing at somebody else for doing something crazy, that it was just like, oh my God, like that can make my day. Like going and seeing, just going down the street to the gas station and someone says something funny, that can make my day. Like today, I walked into the store and I had on my mask, and this guy was sitting in the car waving at me, and I'm on the phone and I have in my earphones, and there's a guy in front of me, and I say, this weird man waving at me, and he busts out laughing. And he's like, it's okay, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. But he just bust out laughing. Just having that minor interaction, it was like good. At least I know people are still like here and everything. It's taken a lot. I can say it has taken a lot, but self care is important. Meditating is important. Reminding yourself that everything from that's like building up and coming out now, because you have time to sit back and think and actually deal with some of the things that has been going on. Like it's taken some time, and it's an eye opener. It's a good eye catcher. It's like, let me do something different. Let me do this different. Let me do that different. Let me work on some things, because it's the perfect time to sit back and think. And it's a lot. I appreciated this time. I can say that. I definitely appreciated this time.
I'm ready to get in and be out and about.
I'm ready to get back and be out too, but I'm also ready for, I don't know. I'm ready for a lot. I'm ready for things to go back to normal. I'm ready for me to be back at work, because, like I've been working at home, but it's different with working at home because you can do what you want. But
Right.
then, like, you run out of stuff to do sometimes, or you get so caught up in what you're doing that you forget about the other stuff that you're doing sometimes. So like being at work, at least there's someone to stop you, the interactions with people. I think I'm just stuck on the interactions with people. Like, I think that's my issue, but I'm an extrovert and an introvert at the same time, like 65 extrovert, 35 introvert. People
We
are
all 100%
enjoying
introvert right now, damn it.
what?
We are all 100% introverts right now, damn it.
I'm hip. I'm hip,
This
but
is for the birds.
it is.
But you know what? If you're an extrovert and you're in a relationship and he or she is an introvert, listen to me. This is what your significant other is talking about quality time. Because if you ain't getting no quality time right now, something wrong with you.
Right. This is the time where
Yeah.
you sit down and
Can't go to
enjoy
church, but
yourself.
you can still go on different social media networks and get some type of church service. Man, I'm trying to tell you, because last couple of weeks I've been listening to my man Howard Dabney, DJ High Def. Man, let me tell you, it ain't the same thing as going to church, but you know what? Howard puts several different things in the mix of his music format, and it's nothing but church and gospel music. So you ain't going to church, but you're doing something for a couple hours, because his routine is like 3-4 hours, whether it's a Friday, Saturday night, or Sunday morning service. So that's where I'm getting my church from. Yes, indeed. I'm tired of cooking. Look,
How many times have you been to the grocery store?
once a week, and you can't always find what you want. What you don't want, you got plenty of. You got plenty of. What you don't want, anything that you don't want, it's there. Now,
Right.
I will say, if you or anyone has ever been to the grocery store, look what people aren't buying: junk, desserts. Like, you go down the junk aisle, potato chips and all that mess. That mess, it's plentiful. You go down the dessert aisles, like ice cream and pies and stuff like that. It's plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all ain't heard, then prices on any type of meat, chicken, anything, seafood, them prices getting ready to go up and up and up. Because if y'all ain't heard, I don't care what Trump say. If y'all ain't heard, one by one, these meat processing plants are getting shut down. So when the meat runs out, what you gonna do? I guess we're all gonna turn into animals and be eating produce.
Wait. Meat places are being shut down?
Yep, because of COVID-19.
This is bad.
They just shut down in the Midwest. They just shut down a big chicken plant, a real big chicken plant. Like I think it's one of the biggest ones in the Midwest. Yeah, man, getting crazy. Trump talk about nah, just give them gloves and face masks and keep them open. That's what's wrong with this country now. Someone need to tell him find a corner, and someone needs to put his ass in timeout. The whole country on timeout. Why can't he be on timeout?
You know, it's funny how, like, just how there's like people try to use short-term solutions for long-term problems. You know, like short-term solutions are never they're going to help for the moment, but when that moment's over, the long-term problem is still going to be there. And like this whole thing and how it's just been handled has literally been off of short-term solutions to add more short-term solutions. Like it really sucks that they didn't have a handle on it, that it wasn't taken serious back in January. There were talks about COVID and everything from October, you know, in different countries and everything. Like there was no prep for it. So like when it hit, it was kind of like a rain cloud almost.
This is my thing.
Came out of nowhere.
This is my thing. You saw all these countries one by one, starting with China, and then it ever but slowly crept across Southeast Asia, Europe. You did not think this mess was going to come to the U.S.? It's all over the Eastern Hemisphere. You didn't think it was eventually going to come to the Western Hemisphere? You had plenty of time to prepare for this. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. But, you know, as they say, it's the American way. We're a bunch of idiots. We don't listen to nothing. We don't follow nothing. We talk about all these countries, but yet when everything's going $8 wild health wise and people are falling out all over the place, you're not taking heed to what's going on, and you're just like, oh yeah, we'll be all right. I'm starting to think like everybody else, man. I think this is a planned health issue just to control human population. Like you're sitting here predicting when this mess is gonna finally reach its peak. If this is a virus, how do you know that? If you're not controlling this, how do you know that? It's just like, I mean, like the flu, like allergies.
I mean,
cold. They don't ever say that, but they constantly say this mess every day. Oh, it ain't reached its peak yet. How do you know that? What you got? I don't get it.
There's a thing called statistics and forecasting. So that's what they usually do is, yes, and science. But and math. But Monty, you're making me laugh. But there is statistics, there is forecasting. All of those actually. Huh?
For a virus?
Yes. Everything comes from statistics and forecasting. Nothing in this world, everything stems off of science and math. Like science, math, English, and social studies is the root of all knowledge in America. So you have like root of all knowledge. So even if it comes with a virus, you still have to think on people have gotten this virus before. There are 19 different strands of this virus, so they can forecast the amount of people who are going to receive it through the amount of people and the average maybe of the other 18 viruses on top of the other viruses that has came. And science always gives you predictions because you have to hypothesize and you have to make and create experiments to figure out when this is going to stop, how it's going to stop. Like science creates the vaccines, all of it. Like it just all goes together. Like they compare it to other outbreaks. So anything to I can't say that word for anything. Statistic wise, because I can't say it fast, else I stutter. Says anything statistic. See, statistic wise, it that's how they come, and that's how they're able to predict it. Now I don't like. I kind of gave up on trying to keep up with the COVID virus because it's too much. It's too much falseness being passed around. It's too much truthfulness being passed around. Nobody wants to believe it. Everybody feels like they know the answers. It's gotten stressful. I've basically got off Facebook. Over it. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I kind of just like I'm just here like waiting for the next thing to do, like when the world opened back up. Okay, that's cool, and I'm still going to go to my car, and I'm still going to go to work, and I'm still going to use hand sanitizer. I'm still going to use gloves. I'm probably not going to use a face mask. I don't know about the gloves for real, but like things that I'm still going to do in order to protect myself, because you have to really protect yourself from everything. You have to be careful. You gotta this shit wild. I ain't never ever thought a day in my life I would ever be going through something like this. Like I can't go outside. The symptoms for the virus are similar to the flu, but then it's in the middle of allergy season. Like this is all bad. Like I shoot because I sneeze and I have allergies and everyone's looking at me crazy. It's just I'm over it. I can definitely say that I'm over it. And I definitely love to switch gears in a little bit because it's like 8:45 and we got 45 minutes left of the show, and we can talk about
everything. We're not going to talk about COVID-19 for the next 45 minutes. Nope, not at all.
Because we're not doing that. And this is our last show.
For a month at least. I'm saying a month.
Okay.
Come back June 10th.
Okay.
Because if they do have Jazzy Summer Nights, shout out to Derek Chase and the Finn group. If they do allow Jazzy Summer Nights, I will be there. I can go live there and do something. You know what? There we go. There we go. We can do a show. We can go live and I can walk around and show everyone that's what's going on. That's how we can do that. Okay, you just got real quiet all of a sudden. Not going for that.
I don't know when the world's I don't know when the world's gonna open back up. I don't know how to feel about it. So whenever it does, it does. I'm not making any future plans. I'm not hoping for it anytime soon because I'm not letting myself down. So I was just gonna let you live and let you have that one because
nah, being real though, I'm like Mo. I think we can pretty much cough up the first one as a loss. Because I honestly don't see in 5 weeks you're going to be allowed to have mass organized events. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, still got July, August, and September.
Right. All right, we're about to switch gears a little bit. Because I don't feel like talking about this no more. It's over with. We're not about to talk about COVID anymore.
Oh, hell no.
What we will talk about though is realizing that This is, our
You know what?
last
This is what
show.
we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
What's up?
Let's do shout outs. Let's put
I
people
don't
on
know.
blast.
No, I'm not doing 45 minutes of shout outs. That's dead.
I ain't
No,
say
we're
do
not.
45 minutes.
But what
I
we
ain't say that.
can do, we
I ain't,
can talk about the good times of the shows and what we have had, and we can shout them out as we go and talk about their shows as we go along, but not
I don't
45
know
minutes of shout outs.
Yes, but okay.
Um, well, the first person that I would like to give thanks to when it comes to this, because we can talk about it, is definitely Naomi. Dang, I used her real name.
Miss Be Inspired, because without her, there would not be no Skyline radio show.
Right. Um, she definitely was a great person to come in contact with. She definitely was the key person to us having our own show in the time that we did have it. And I'm thankful for her from beginning to end because she saw the potential. She saw what we could do, and she basically like handed it to us. Like, I believe you all can take over this slot, and it can still work like it's been working, and you all can take it. And that's what we did for a year and a half. So I would definitely like to say special thanks to Miss Be Inspired. We
Yes.
don't have the claps anymore, so I'm going to clap for us now. In my mind, it was going off. Who else can we say that's a very special thank you? Special thank you to all my friends who came on the show, okay? From AR Star to Low to King's ENT to Lord, to Mr. Carlos Walker, to Julio, to oh my goodness, I had so many people. The Grinders attire, dot dot dot. My cousin Brittany, my cousin L'Oreal. Ooh, yes, definitely. Shout out to all my supporters. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Jay, Markia, Cheryl.
Yes. And Jay, yes, definitely. Like, okay, so we can definitely talk about some of the pop up guests. For those who are tuning in, some of our guests really did just happen to be the guests that we popped up on Wednesdays. You know, like literally, it was like, oh, we don't have a guest on the show. Let's pop up and let's see who we can. Do you think you can come on the show? We definitely did that a couple times. Um, those shows were really interesting though, because it's kind of like we didn't have a focus, but we did have a focus, but the vibe is what kept the show going.
Right.
Like especially I remember when we did Jerron's show, that was Mr. Swanson, Ron Swanson. I called him by his real name because that's my best friend, Ron Swanson. He came on the show December of 2019. No, 2018. December of 2018. He was spontaneous. He was one of my spontaneous guests on the show. And I believe it was only me and him on the show that time. And we talked about everything. And that was like one of my favorite shows that I did. And I got to do with my best friend, so it was a moment for me. But at the same time, it was just like how the show flows, everything, like the conversations on and off the show, on breaks. Like it was a great show. I definitely enjoyed that one. Julio show, he's an author. I randomly hit him up and asked him if he wanted to be on the show that day, and it just happened to work out that he came on the show. I like that show as well. I think that show is more based on like relationship wise and self care and building yourself up as a person. It was really good. I like that show. And he was also in the midst of writing a book as well. So make sure everyone looks out for that book. It should be out soon. Um, who else? You know, one thing I can say that I probably will miss on the show though, or is the when the vibe is a great vibe in the conversation, and we forget that like we're on TV. I mean, not on TV, but we're like on live, and we get so caught up in the conversation that we just end up skipping over like the
Like,
commercials. Like when we start skipping over the commercials and like how good it gets, and we just sitting there talking like the whole vibe is everything. Those are the shows I can definitely say that I'm going to miss. I'm definitely going to miss those shows. Do you have anything to say, Mark?
I'm gonna miss my ritual Wednesday nights while we're in the mix of transforming uh and doing what we need to do in order to come back on the show. Um, I mean, every now and then, the show wants to take a break, so this is probably the best time to take a break, um, if we have to. But um, just like our regular formatted show, I miss interacting with our guests. I miss interacting with you and management and the producer, and having our QP time behind closed doors, figuratively speaking, of course. But before the show, in the mix of the show, during commercial breaks, after the show, um, and naturally our guests, of course. That's what I miss the most about the show in general. Um, Doing it this way because that's how everything is pretty much done now in society. Um, I'm glad we didn't do like most shows and just automatically stop. Oh, we can't be live. We can't be in the studio. So we're just going to postpone everything. Nah. Um, this postponement that we're doing right now, I mean, if you ever had to postpone anything, this would be the proper time to do it. Um, regroup, rejuvenate, get your mind right, get things in order that you need to get in order. And when we come back, we'll be bigger and better.
Definitely. I'm sorry. I was texting, not like I was
I was
supposed
gonna
to
keep
be.
going for a minute.
You could have kept going. It's your time to talk. You be leaving
Oh,
me to
okay.
talk, and then you be like, nope. Every time, be like, you got something to say. You be like, nope. Like,
All right.
this your
Well,
show too, sweetie.
I'm gonna continue talking then. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to all the police, hospital staff, fire department, EMS, rescue service, grocery store staff. I mean, that's everything: management, cashiers, stockers, truck drivers, train operators, airline pilots. Thank you for all that you've been doing throughout all this chaos. Um, if you're able to still leave your house and go do your duties at your job, shout out to you, because you still are able to do whether you want to or not. You're still able to do what you need to do to make that paycheck. Um, bartenders. Shout out to Mo Dirty. Shout out to Mikey, Vinny, Kevin, Lauren, Mark, Julia, Toya, um, India, Tyler, Megan. I swear I'm missing a handful. Brian, Rick, um, Dominic, Irwin, uh, Travis, Tim, um, Tasha, Carla, Rebecca, Crystal, Cece, Jill, if I did not mention you and you have ever made me a drink, don't take it personal. If you watching, don't take it personal. Spit your name on in a message. Um, we'll give you a shout out. Trust me. Promoters, first and foremost, Derek Chase. Derek Chase, Derek Chase, Derek Chase. What can I say about the man, Derek Chase? Brother, friend, mentor. Um,
Speaking of Derek Chase, he's definitely on my top 10 favorite shows list. I can definitely say D Chase being on the show definitely
oh,
helped,
it's
and
always good times. It's
it
it's
was
it's, it's
it was so
always a
much fun.
different type of a
It's
show
always
when
so
he's on.
enjoyable.
It's always a different type of show when he's on here. He just like a party or an event or a gathering, he brings a different form of life to anything that he's involved in. Um, he's taught me a lot over the years. It's been what, 4, 5, 6 years. I swear to God, it feels like it's been about 10. Um, going to different various parties and events and homecomings with him and Mo and the other different circle of friends that me and you have in the Baltimore area. The last 5 years, his 5, 6 years has been a tremendous ride, and I'm very interested and curious to see where the next 5, 10 years takes us. Um, from where we were 5 years ago, man, we've come a long way on so many different aspects, scenarios, and what have you. So I can just imagine where we're going to be in another 5 years. Um, Definitely more established with everything that we have going on, but there's different other adventures that we're not going to talk about because Tiana don't want to, and I get on her nerves when I do um, open them bags of objects and throw them out there. She don't like that. So we're not gonna do that because when we get off this radio, she's gonna call me and probably cuss me out. Why you always do that? So we're not gonna do that. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. She's like, would you stop? But um, who else? Mo, Nina, NNA. She's the only one in the DMV. What's up, Nina? Um, any promoter that we've ever done something with, any promoter that's ever come out to any of our parties, events. God, we've had so many over the years. All white affair, red dress event, black and white, black and red. Um, I think we've had over 50. No, we've probably had over 100 networking and social gatherings between um, Sangria, Hooters. We've had one or two at Uno's. Um, a tremendous of them at Dave and Buster's. Couple at Fridays. A couple at Aloft. I mean, we're always somewhere and we're always doing something. Um, outside of all the different various work that we do and our 9 to 5s or whatever the case may be, whatever shift you're on, if there is different shifts, I miss the playtime. Um, First and foremost, what's the biggest playtime of the year that pretty much kicks off the spring season? That's opening day. Um, we're gonna have it. We just don't know when. We don't know how good it's gonna be because a lot of people like me aren't thinking about going to a party or gathering. People just want to go back to work. That's the first thing on everybody's list. Forget a party, forget a gathering, forget an event, forget going on a trip. I just want to go back to work.
No,
And
I'm ready to go on vacation. Okay, I feel
you and me
like
both, because we were supposed to be in St. Thomas right now.
well, not right now, like last week, but I feel like all the vacation spots are about to be hit, like lit up. everyone's about to go on a vacation because they've been in their homes in the same area and doing the same thing for so long that they're ready to be somewhere else to do something different.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that they're going to do is definitely go. First step is vacation. Second step is everything else. Like, I got vacations lined up already. I need to go get a passport ASAP. Like,
trying to go to LA.
I'm trying to go to LA. I'm trying to go to Vegas again. I honestly want to go somewhere weird like Oregon or Washington. Like,
you know where I want to go?
Where do you want to go?
What's that? New Zealand.
See, like, I want to go to Finland. I did a report on Finland, and Finland's government, they provide free health care, and they only provide like 32 hours per week to work. So they're off 3 days a week. Like, their whole living lifestyle out there and the culture out there is completely different than what it is here. And I would definitely like to experience it one day. Definitely. I want to go to Alaska again. I'm ready to go to Hawaii. I want to go everywhere. I want to, like, I have yet to.
But here, I feel you.
Like, but Maryland. Everywhere but Maryland. Gotta go. Same time. Should have been my first trip. It was supposed to be my first trip, man. It would have been so much fun. I definitely would have enjoyed it. I definitely look forward to it. I thought about it.
Yeah.
But, this also gives them time to revamp and recreate things. I hope, like, all the small businesses and everything are, like, doing what they need to do to stay above water. I know it's hard, but just all the vacation spots. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That thrive off of tourists. I really hope that they're able to continue to thrive when we come back. I hope that everyone, we're not talking about when we come back because we're not talking about COVID anymore. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how great of a show that we did and how much of a great show that we had for the last year and a half. And we're talking about the good things that has come from it and what we have definitely applaud off to. Another random memory that I had with the show is in February of 2019 when we had the video. It was a blooper. It was a blooper show. The audio was working, but the video wasn't working. And it was the first time we ever had a topic where it was relationships was the topic. And we had a whole show based off of There's No I in We, I believe. The alternative, I think that was the name of it.
There's no I in team, but there's an E in me.
No, that's not what it was. It's a guy that we had on our show, and I believe his book was named There's No I in We, or he has a Facebook page named There's No I in We. Either way, it was it was a relationship topic show where it was 6 of us on the show. Usually we could only have up to 4 to 5 people on the show. It was 6 of us on the show, and it was straight audio, and it was good. It was fun. We still gave the same commercial breaks, but I like that show in particular because you couldn't actually see us. So the conversation that you were actually getting was real. It was authentic. And we kind of forgot that we were even on camera for a minute, and we were just talking amongst each other, like having conversations amongst each other. And that was something that I really say that I can like, that I really loved and I adored about the show in particular, is because we would get so caught up in that we're starting to have conversations with each other. So it's not even like we're on radio anymore. It was just like we wanted everyone to just join in on our live conversation. And it was a great moments. Those were definitely great moments that I believe we can take with us. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly have enjoyed it. I'm trying to think of another show. Malika Starr. I remember when Miss Malika Starr came on the show. She actually came on the show possibly this time last year, I believe. She was one of the vendors. Yeah, because BMO Fit me, BMO Fit, my cousin BMO Fit, and we threw a fitness party for her birthday. Her birthday was last week. We threw the fitness party on his 27th. So it was definitely this week when Miss Malika Starr came on the show, because she was another random person that I found and asked her to be on the show because the week was available. She brought her grandson. He was 8 years old, and he was the star of his own book. She I can't remember the name of the book, and I have it somewhere in this room. I know I do. But I remember her. I still talk to her till this day. I thoroughly enjoyed her. We had an 8-year-old guest. Like,
yeah, we did. Erica
we had an 8-year-old guest. And he was really good at being on the show. Like, he understood what he was supposed to say. He didn't make a lot of noise when he was in the room with us. It was a very wonderful experience to have an 8-year-old as a guest. Really I can definitely take that with me. It's definitely bittersweet in this moment. I can say it's bittersweet. I kind of don't want to stop the show, but it's just like, COVID's in the way, man. COVID's definitely in the way. But I appreciate everyone who has tuned in, all of our fans, all of our supporters, everyone who has talked to us and supported one step at a time. Like, I truly appreciate them. It helps.
Let's see if we can go down the list. You think we can go down the list?
Of what?
Of all our guests.
No.
Let's see. You figure 52 weeks. Let's see, October. So that's 18 months. 18 times 4 is what? 76? No, 72. 72. Can we name 72 people?
I'm not doing it, so you can have all the fun in the world.
Let's see.
We had DJ Bob Stop That Shit. That was my man's.
Let's see. Monty, Nate. I don't think Nicole was on. Andre. Get this. Naomi, Ren, Rich. Let's get home taken care of. All right, let's see. Derek Chase, Mo Dirty, Miss Cynthia, Chanel, Shanae, Letitia. Shout out to Shorty. He done been on the show twice. Nina, Tynika, Justice. Man, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know so many names, but I can't think of them. It's like they're on the top of my head.
You know, I don't even know. Let's talk about the models that we had on the show. We had Quanique on the show. We had Jay Aura on the show. We had Chardell Moore. Remember when she came on the show?
Chardell Moore 6 months ago. Yes, I do.
Like, we really had some great people on our show. So Shanetta, she's the owner of Empowerment Assets. It's a mental health organization for those who have mental health. She's full on, hands-on, full on with all her clients, and she really strives, and she's an advocate for mental health. And thank you, Shanetta. She is definitely like the glue to a lot of madness. She helps different things. Every time she came on the show, it was definitely worth her coming on the show. We always had different things to talk about. She always opened our minds to more than what we can just see on the surface. I definitely appreciated Shanetta and everything that she has done. And every time that she came on the show, it's definitely worth it. It has been.
Yeah. Boy. Look, I'm even thinking of the 12-week today's career women, and man, Trina Love, Erica Pullen, Cheryl, Jay, your homeboy with the cream, with the hair and face cream.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob. Um, gosh, man, it's so many people, and it's like you're lost in the sauce because you know who they are, but you just can't think of who they are. If that makes any bit of sense. We've definitely had a lot of guests. We've had shows when we've had two or three guests. Uh, uh, Mr. Anthony. Um, there's been a lot of people that came on the show through other guests. There's been a lot of people that we haven't had on the show that we'd still like to have on the show. We just ain't been able to work anything out because of their individual schedules. Um, there's just so many of them. Kiera, and then like people like Shanetta,
Miss
Kiera,
Penny.
Earl,
We cannot forget about Miss Penny.
Miss Penny.
Um, yeah,
We,
she
we, we
definitely.
they the easy ones, and we forgot about them. It's just so many of them. You're right, Tiana. I'm done because I'm sitting here frying my brain now.
That's why I told you don't do that to yourself. We just gonna talk about the ones we remember and the ones that are great.
I mean, we remember them all, and we thank all of them. Um, but again, shout out to Mo, Huey, Ebony, Diane, Nikki, Juanique. Um, we definitely got to bring them back on the show when their schedules allow it and everything goes back to normal because you got to have a real show with the guests that we had in this type of format. Um, especially Mo and Huey, because with them being bartenders, they're gonna bring some stuff to the studio and they're gonna show us how they work their magic. Um, I did not know this until I learned through Mo and Mikey at the same time. There's codes between bartenders.
Codes.
You don't ask a bartender to show another bartender how to make a signature drink of theirs. I never knew that.
No, you don't. You can't give up your.
Just saying. Just saying.
You can't give up your secrets.
I didn't know. Just saying. Trying to keep my phone from dying. I'm not having much luck. What time is it?
It's 9:15.
We got about 17 minutes. We be trying to tell y'all it's the fastest 2 hours of your life. This format right here, this hour and a half ain't nothing. I feel like we
No,
doing
this hour
drama.
and a half feels like it's longer than the 2 hours. I lie to you not.
This feels longer. Oh yeah, because it's
To me, it
continuous.
feels longer because there's no breaks. It's just going straight through.
Right. Them breaks, man. We be needing them breaks though sometimes. Trying to tell
Give
you.
you time to regroup. Here, you gotta come off the head. You gotta go with it.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to life as we know it coming back. Getting back in the, with doing stuff for the community. I think that out of everything, I think that's what I miss the most. Like, um, I grilled for the first time for the season a couple days ago, and it felt good. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't supposed to because of a situation that I'm dealing with, but it felt good. It felt real good. Um, just to do what you want and not mess up the kitchen. I think that's what's plucked my nerve the most with doing all this cooking and baking that I'm doing. Oh, I got a new recipe. I'll tell you about it. Because I'm doing cupcakes tonight. So I'm
Okay.
experimenting because I had someone not exactly place an order, but they wanted to know if I could do butterscotch cupcakes. Never done them. I'm gonna try them tonight. I'm gonna do a batch of cupcakes and I'm gonna do a batch of butterscotch muffins. So I'm gonna see how they turn out.
What's the difference between muffins and cupcakes?
Realistically, nothing. I guess a cupcake is a cupcake because it has icing, and a muffin is just a muffin because it don't have icing. But I'm saying cupcakes and muffins because I'm doing with and without icing. Because the butterscotch cupcake itself, I want to try to make a butterscotch type a butterscotch flavor icing. I mean, I know the butterscotch cupcakes should be all right. Um, if I have chocolate chips and M&Ms, I'm gonna do a batch of those too. But we'll see how it goes, and then again, I might not do it tonight. I might just say that'll be something I can do tomorrow.
I've been cooking more since I've been in the house. I can say that I made some bomb behind drumsticks. Now, not like little baby drumsticks. I'm talking about the thick old drumsticks.
Hmm.
And I made it with cream and mushrooms. I seasoned it and I made it with cream and mushroom, but I baked it. So like the cream and mushroom got to soak into the chicken.
Hmm.
Best cream of mushroom chicken I've ever came across. I am happy with myself. I am satisfied. I can add that to the list of things that I can cook. And I've just been adding to things I can cook now. Like, yeah, I cook. See, but I have a cooking
I know
dad
you
too.
cook breakfast. I know you
Oh
cook
yeah, I be
breakfast.
shuffling it up with breakfast because a nigga got
I know. I've
okay.
been there. You and Kiera was like, Mark, get out the kitchen. We got this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's our thing. Breakfast is our thing. But I cook dinner too. I cook everything or almost everything. But what happens is I have a cooking dad and sometimes like I'll be with my dad or I'll be helping to cook or I'll start cooking and he'll take over. And it's like,
Messing up your groove.
but I was trying to cook. Like, what are you doing? You're in my way. So instead of, doing that part, what I decided to do was I'll help him cook. Like I help prep or I cook the part. So I helped prep the beef tips that just came out horrible. We'll just never talk about those. It just didn't work out. But he seasoned the chicken and I cooked it. So like we'll just take turns half and half. Like one person would do one half, I would do the other half. I'm ready to cook up something else. I feel like I might have ran out of food finally of like meats and stuff. I finally ran out. At one point we had a full house, so it was six of us in here. It was 5 to 6 of us in here. So things has changed. It's only back to three of us again. Well, four.
Right.
But just like cooking, it does take a lot out of you. And then you realize when you start eating out, you realize how much money you spend eating out. So it's like, okay, don't spend money eating out. Go on and cook. Then it's like, dang, now I gotta defrost the chicken. But I'm hungry now. Let me order. Like, you gonna order or you gonna eat out? Like, you gonna eat out or you gonna cook? You gonna cook or you gonna eat out? You gonna eat out, you gonna cook. Like, you never know what you're gonna do next when it comes to this. Pick up a
Yeah.
book, enjoy yourself. This is my last show. This is the last show. Last 9 minutes.
A month, 5 weeks.
5
5 weeks? Yeah, because the first is God. It's getting ready to be May.
It's already May. Like we skipped April. Like, could you just imagine talking to your grandkids about this time? I could just.
Don't wish that on me. Don't wish that on me.
You know, at one point in time, we had to stay inside for.
Look, I call you something else, but we gotta keep the show clean. Look, punk, don't wish that on me. You don't even have kids.
Look, you're right.
Mine
But
can
we
come
always
home
talk
any day
about
talking about, hey
grandkids.
dad, you about to be pop. I ain't trying to hear that.
No, but see what you're doing over there is stressing your own self out because
I ain't
there's so
stressing
many more
myself.
years to go. So
You can come
you
home
gotta just
anytime. You
yourself.
don't have no kids. So you
Whew.
got bare minimum 16.
I don't have any kids, but one thing I can say is when I get older, I would love to definitely share this with them. That's the
Look,
important part
look.
is how we got through coronavirus.
She ain't
That's
got
what
no
we
biological kids, but she does have kids and grandkids because
I got
you the
kids.
oldest
I
of
got
what?
kids.
You the
I got
oldest
nieces
of
and
what?
nephews.
9?
I'm the oldest of 8.
Oldest of 8. And then they have kids. So your kids have kids.
And I
Nana,
have godkids.
Nana.
That's who I am. Speaking of Nana, my nephew, Baby Trey, finally gave me a name that everyone can keep up with, and it's Titi Nana. Now, I think that is the cutest name ever. So I'm surely in love with it. I don't care if my nieces and nephews calls me Titi Nana. I told them to call me Auntie Nana anyway. So it like just works out because they either going to call me Titi Nana or they're going to call me T Nana. Like it just
so,
works.
so you gonna change your name to T the Busy Nana?
Nah, that's a family name. That's a name that sticks to the family. It's certain family names that stick to the family. If you call me Tinana, that means you're a baby and you met me as Tinana. Like, different names, there's levels to it. So I'm okay with it. Only babies can call me Tinana. If you're an adult, you calling me Tiana. You calling me T.
How much more time we got?
We got 6 minutes.
6 minutes. You ready? Here we go. Shout outs.
Whew.
Oh God, what is that? What's that? Oh man, it's new. When all else fails, right? I knew I was gonna have to do this, but I was trying not to. It's on the tip of my tongue though, so how I forget. You can start.
I already gave everyone that I wanted to say thank you. You know what? Thank you to everyone, all of my audience, all of my friends that are in the audience who stepped and came through and to watch the show once or twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. I don't care. Every time you stop by my show to talk to me, to jump in the comments, to be a part, even if you're just in an audience, if you're a part, I definitely appreciate and love all the support that I've gotten. Everyone who felt like this was like the beginning of their venture and used me as an example or as a model as to what to do and how to do it. Anyone who I gave motivation to go on and get out there to have a radio show from like college and everything, it's a lot of people who have reached out to me about this. Thank you guys, because I don't know if I could have done it without you guys behind me telling me how great of a job this is every time, without giving me the feedback that you all do. I really appreciate it. Definitely, like, thank John. I thank Larry. I thank Adrian. I thank Danae. People who have literally watched my show from beginning to end multiple times. I thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I do not feel like this is like the last time, T the Busy Bee will be out here. But I'm kind of sad because I
All right,
don't like. It's just like, all right, that's cool.
all right, Punk, stop. Me. Here we go. Here we go.
So much.
Shout out to P the Busy Bee and Fawn the Skater, because y'all the two dopest co-hosts anyone could have. Bella
3
Garden
minutes.
Landscape Services, Dave and Buster's, DJ High Def, DJ P Drama, Old Dirty Mixologist, Prohibition Mobile Bar, Hooters, Subway, SK Pizza and Subs, Orchard Cafe, Safeway. Who else? Coffee and Mascara. What's Mr. Eric's nonprofit?
Operation Ernie's Plate.
There you go. What's Miss Penny's?
Jolliffe.
What's her
Easy
business?
and tasty Jolliffe rice.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Sangria, the Garage, CVS, Walgreens, Sam's Club. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone. I'm looking. I can't think.
Shouts out to Drew. That's who I forgot. Shouts out to Drew for coming on my show when he did. And also shouts out to DJ Bob. Stop that shit. I say shouts out to both of them because both of them actually know each other. And they both came on. They were supposed to do the show together and they came on separately. So I definitely appreciate them. We got 1 minute left.
Shout out to Miss Toya. Shout out to Adult Ice. Shout out to, oh God, I just had them. Shorty's Bootleg Barbecue. So good, it should be illegal. Shout out to Shanetta, Empowerment Essence. All our volunteers, Mr. Marcus Hill, Michael Hill, Milton Holmes, Miss Tina, all our Baltimore volunteers, sponsors, investors, all our DC sponsors, investors, and volunteers. To my photographers, Rob, Trina, John, everyone that's been on our show, that's come out to any of our events, to any of our Skylyne Foundation Feed the Homeless charity events. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we support you, and we appreciate you. And we will
Yes.
see you whenever we start our Skylyne radio show.
And we are out. Bye.